Hello, good people of the internet. Remember Unsplash, the stock photo site everyone told you not to use because it would diminish the value of photography and kill the profession? It has just been acquired by the stock photo giant that is Getty Images. And because Getty Images is very much in the photo selling and not the photo giving away for free business, that might change things for up and downloaders in the not too distant future. Let's have a frank discussion about why this might have happened and what it means to you and me. For those who are currently using photos downloaded from Unsplash, nothing will change. Unsplash says so itself. Legally, once a photo has been released under the Unsplash license, it remains free to use even if it were to be removed from the platform. Getty Images won't be able to retroactively change the licensing terms. That same license also prohibits the selling of unaltered copies, so Getty Images won't be able to move your photos to their platform and monetize them. Just to doubly clear up any confusion about what the deal involves, Getty Images hasn't bought the photos uploaded to Unsplash, they've bought the platform. What could happen is that going forward, access to the Unsplash photos will be placed behind a subscription model. As far as I know, nothing prohibits Getty Images from placing the site itself behind a paywall or just taking it down. I'll tell you why I mentioned that in just a bit. To sum it up, as a downloader, you can continue using any photos you might have, but you might not be able to use Unsplash as a free service for much longer. The same basically applies to uploaders. Getty Images won't be able to change the license of your existing photos without your explicit permission. I know there are many who share their photos on Unsplash because they enjoy seeing them used. Depending on what Getty Images does with the platform, you could be seeing far fewer downloads in the future. They might also change the license for any future uploads. Now you know the possible outcome of this deal, we might as well take a look at how it came to be. As I mentioned, Unsplash has made quite a splash in the photography and especially stock photography industry. Why? Because Unsplash offers high quality, high resolution photos for free. And you don't have to worry about any licensing issues because the Unsplash license takes care of everything. It is the fact that the photos on Unsplash are free that makes many photographers dislike the website. They claim that Unsplash makes companies and individuals not see the value in good photography, because why pay for something when you can get it for free? Undoubtedly, Unsplash has won over many potential customers who otherwise would have had to purchase photos or license them with a subscription. Do I think that Unsplash is such a bad site? Without wanting to tread on anyone's toes, and please let me know down in the comments if I'm missing something, I don't necessarily share the opinion mentioned above. Yes, Unsplash has led to many photographers losing money, which is a shame of course, but at the same time I use free music and insert screenshots of news articles in my videos, both of which I don't pay a penny for. And then there's free and open source software. I use everything from Joplin to Home Assistant to Visual Code and on and on and on. Once I realized that I had to ask myself what makes photography so different from music and code. Why does photography have to occupy a space that hasn't evolved and needs to remain behind a paywall? The developers of the apps I just mentioned aren't living on the streets. Kevin MacLeod makes a living despite having given away 2,000 pieces of royalty-free library music under a Creative Commons copyright license. And despite YouTube offering a huge library of free music, subscription-based royalty-free music sites such as Epidemic Sound exist. There are free and open source alternatives to Adobe products such as Darktable, and yet Adobe doesn't appear to be struggling. Am I in the wrong suggesting that the traditional photography business might have to change its ways? With that rant over, let's quickly rewind and go over Unsplash's history in as short a time as possible. Unsplash started as a Tumblr theme back in 2013 after Michael Cho had hired a photographer for his then company and decided to share any photos he didn't need with the internet. The page gained immediate traction after it was voted top story on Hacker News. The website we now know launched in the fall of 2014 and was clocking in around 1 million downloads per month. 1 year after that, what I think made Unsplash was revealed: the Unsplash API. The API would allow developers to use photos from Unsplash in their apps, websites, plugins, and just about anywhere else. By May 2018, the API had been integrated into 500 products. Less than a year later, that number had doubled to 1,000 products such as Medium, Trello, WordPress, Notion, and many more. Listening to that story, it might sound as if Unsplash was a huge success and could have easily made it on its own, but if you've been listening carefully, you will have noticed that I didn't mention anything about money. Despite having launched ads in the form of products placed in photos, Unsplash was still relying on money from investors. Despite their ads hosting millions of high-quality images with even more views and downloads, doesn't come cheap. I'm not going to claim that I know anything about investing, but one thing's for sure: investors do not aim to lose money. Unsplash either had to be bought up or start making money sooner rather than later. And it's obviously the former route they've been discussing for some time now. Speaking of investing, I've got a very inactive Patreon which is dying for some support. I won't be able to post much on there because of time constraints, but any support helps me out covering the costs of running this channel, and once there are enough of you, the content will flow. With the reasons as to why Unsplash had to be sold out of the way, we can speculate why Getty Images would want to buy a free stock photography site. Getty Images might want the photos, but because those have the Unsplash license and Getty Images already has millions of photos, that seems unlikely. Another option I've seen discussed is whether they want user data. That one seems unlikely to me because I don't see what they do with the contributors' emails, and as far as I know, Getty Images isn't in the big data business. What I think is far more likely is that Getty Images simply wants to get rid of a competitor, and a very successful competitor at that. Undoubtedly, Unsplash has taken away many potential customers, and Getty Images does have a history of doing exactly that. In the past, they've bought iStock, ThinkStock, ViroImage, Filmagic, among others. Buying a competitor is something large companies do on a regular basis. We've seen it countless times before. Facebook bought WhatsApp and Instagram, and what is now Google Nest bought the makers of the Revolve Hub only to immediately discontinue it. Google Video never took off, so what did Google do? They bought the platform you are watching this video on right now. And while you're on this platform, you should definitely subscribe to this channel and hit the ding dong bell. If my suspicion were to be correct, the future of Unsplash will either be a shutdown or some form of subscription model. I can't really see Getty Images doing anything else. I definitely don't see Unsplash's future as a money-losing, free-to-use platform. And with that, I've just about said everything I know and suspect about this deal. If you did enjoy this video, please hit that like button as it really does help me out. If you didn't enjoy this video, make sure you hit the dislike button twice to make it extra impactful. Alright, I've been Liam Alexander Coleman, and this has been me talking about Getty Images buying Unsplash. You have not been Liam Alexander Coleman, but I will see you in the next one. Bye!